Oh my god. Hello, I'm back. It's been a hot minute over the last few weeks adjusting back to college life. My clubs have been starting up again. My classes are the workload is coming in, so I've been kind of adjusting to that. But I am excited today because I thought I would do a quick little video about what's in my bag. I'm assuming you've read the title of the video. I do love a good tote bag. I know, it's not ideal for my shoulders. I'm well aware. This is the lifestyle I chose for myself, so I've made my grave. I'm gonna lie in it. That was a very dark, I don't know why I went for such a dark metaphor there. I thought I would start off by showing you my little tote bag collection. So I say collection, I have like 3. Love them all dearly. I rotate between them. Start with my first tote. The first is a classic, well-known tote. It is my New Yorker tote that I got, I want to say a year ago. When I got my subscription to the New Yorker, it came in the mail a few weeks later. But this one is probably the smallest out of the 3 totes that I have. It's a solid bag, you know, it's done me well. I will say I got a little bit of TMI. There's a little bit of lip gloss or like lip tint at the bottom of the bag. It's mostly washed out. I'm not gonna show I'd rather not show you, but just know that I did do some heavy-handed washing with the bottom of the bag after a little incident a few weeks ago. Otherwise it's in good shape, promise. I take care of them, but I think, you know, the point of the bag is to use it, so incidents happen. And then my second, hold on, they're like all on the floor, so I'm bending down. My second tote bag that I have here is my Carhartt tote. So this one I got in Italy, I think, specifically Italy in Verona. I was on a sort of trip with my friends there last summer, and I saw this in the Carhartt store. Yeah, I just really liked how it looked, and I was like, you know, maybe this is gonna be my Verona purchase. I said, pretty sure it said something like that. And it's also great because it's a darker color, so it doesn't get dirty as easily or as visibly. It also has a nice little outer pocket. Here, I'll show you. But it has like you see here, like there's a pocket on the outside right here. So I usually put like some of the little bits and bobs in that pocket as well. My final tote is the one that I've been using recently. Shakespeare & Co. tote that I got in Paris, actually, from the same trip last summer where I went to Europe with my friends. So yeah, I picked this up at the bookstore in Paris. I know there's also like a blue version, which was also really nice, but I thought I would switch it up a little bit with the red. And this one has the thickest straps out of the 3 totes, so it is a little bit comfier, and I would also say this is probably the biggest tote. So definitely good for when I'm lugging around a abnormal amount of stuff for a day. And it also has a little interior pocket right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I like to put my little things that fall around in my bag so they don't get just drowned down there in the depths. Okay, so that was, I know, a really rapid fire tour of my little tote bag collection. However, now I want to move on to what I actually lug around in there all day. I have 2 categories in mind for what I put into my tote bag. All right, bear with me. So I have the necessities, which is things that you will definitely always find in my tote bag as a kind of on a no matter what basis. So there are those items, and I think I'm going to start with those. But on the other hand, I have the occasional grabs, the indulgences, the sometimes picked up and sometimes put in items. Essentially, it's just if I have the space or if it's a special certain occasion, I'll bring those things along. But otherwise, to conserve and maximize the space of my tote bag, and also spare my spare my poor shoulders from any more burden than they need. These are the items that sometimes you'll find in my bag, sometimes you won't. So yeah, but first, let's start off with the necessities. All the items I'm going to show you are just very realistic, ordinary depictions of what I actually do carry around. So some of them are probably pretty obvious, especially if you're also a college student like I am. But I do carry around my computer in my tote bag. It is certainly one of the heavier items that I have to carry, but just because I do need it for either classes or if I have some like club meetings or just things where I want to do some work at the library or something, I just, I kind of have to bring it because that's where all my documents are. That's where I usually check my emails and stuff. So it's just, it's a given necessity. And then, of course, I will always have whatever I'm currently reading in my bag as well. I know this, okay, for some, this might be more of an indulgence to carry around, especially if it's a bigger book. But guys, like I'm committed to it, okay? I just have to. If I don't bring it, I feel like I'm leaving a child behind. This is my current read. Right now I'm reading The Language of Trees, which is like an anthology composed or put together by Katie Holton. Okay, this is actually just visually stunning. Here, let me show you a few pages. It's just so beautiful. I picked this up kind of just randomly at the university bookstore, and I flipped through, and I didn't really know, like, I've never heard of the book before, so I was just flipping through, and I thought that, one, the pages and the art looked great, and two, I thought that the topic of trees and eco-criticism in particular has always been something that I've wanted to learn more about. And reading it so far, I'm almost done with it actually, but it's really insightful and it's really beautiful, and it makes you just appreciate your natural surroundings a lot more. There's like these really beautiful quotes as well with this sort of tree alphabet that the author uses, learning more about the natural world and kind of reshaping the way that you think about the terrain and the earth that we inhabit with, trees in particular, but also just other sort of natural aspects as well. Really enjoying it, and I'm almost done, so I'll let you know what I think about it in my September catalog, which will be coming at the end of the month, so stay tuned. Ooh, okay. And then, if you've watched my first day video, I did talk a little bit about how I've started doing handwritten notes more often this semester. I've been enjoying it a lot, actually, because it kind of keeps me off my device in class. So I do bring, depending on which class I have that day, I will bring whichever notebook corresponds to said class. So if I have my communication class, this book is coming with me. If I have either one of my English classes, this book is coming with me. This one, I just combined both class notes inside. How I set it up is like I divided the notebook in half here. Maybe do this a little better. Okay, so I have the first half is my notes for one class, and then halfway through I did like a little divider, and this is my notes for my other English class. And finally, I have my Chinese notebook, because I am taking a little Chinese language class this semester. Okay, this one's another given, okay, since we just talked about notebooks. But I do also bring my pencil case around. This just has everything in it. This is a Muji pencil case. I don't know if anyone's curious, but I just attached like this cute little keychain onto it. But it just has pens, pencils, sticky notes of any color, shape, size. They're all there. There's highlighters as well. And then my favorite kind of pen is the Muji pens. They're the 0.5 5 version. Yeah, I like this one in black, and I also have one in blue and red. And then for my highlighters, I have these colors. I just think they pair so nicely with each other. I think I went for a good color scheme when it comes to highlighters, so I'm very proud of that. They're just I'm not sure what brand this is. They're just called the mild liners. I also have a couple of pencils. I have these ones. I'm pretty sure a lot of my stationery comes from Muji. I'm a big Muji girl, so I have a sticky note pad in here for when I want to put some notes down on inside a book or something. I'll just use this, or I have also like these smaller ones. Of course, you can't forget water. I know this is a lot to put in a tote bag. I recognize that, but trust me when I say I do not leave without all of these things. I will always bring my water bottle around because, hey, you can never go wrong with too much. Well, actually, you can go wrong with too much water, but it's rare that people reach that point. But hydration, very important. So something that I always have in the mini pocket of my tote bag is my lip balm or my lip tint or whatever it is that I'm using at the moment. But right now it is the Glossier Black Cherry lip balm. I actually really love the scent of it. It's really nice, and the color is also fitting. Actually, I might reapply some right now. But yes, this is what I have in my bag always as well. If not in my bag, then in my pocket. So, I think that was a good overview of the necessities that I carry with me in my tote bag. But now we're going to talk a little bit about the occasional brings or my little indulgences that if I have the space and I have the occasion for it, I'll slip it into my tote bag. But if not, I might leave it at home because, yeah, I'm trying not to overwhelm my shoulders. I know it doesn't seem like it with all the items that I've been showing you, but take my word for it. Please. So the first item that I would say I'd bring if I have the chance is actually more so like a variety. It's really just any of my notebooks that I have. I know I've been meaning to do my journaling ecosystem tour. It's coming, I promise. I haven't yet. I haven't gotten around to it, but yeah, I was just gonna say that if I do have the space and I know that maybe I'm going off to the library or somewhere where I'm not gonna be in class, then I'll carry around maybe one of my notebooks with me just so I can get some journaling done. So I have 3. I have my book journal, I have my kind of daily, more diary-esque journal, and I also have the newest edition, which is my creative commonplace journal, which I've been loving since I've been really getting back into a lot more creative writing, especially since one of the clubs that I'm a part of on campus called Dissent Magazine is specifically a literary arts magazine. So yes, I have been bringing my commonplace journal around a little bit just to jot down some ideas. This one's a very practical item, but it's my glasses case. I am unfortunately nearsighted. I do not have 20/20 vision. I'm wearing contacts right now, but sometimes if I, just don't want to wear contacts for the day, I'll just probably slip on my glasses. And so if that is the case, then get it? Okay. I'm so sorry. And then sometimes I will also, especially if I'm heading to, say, like the library or something, I would bring my headphones with me. So these are the Sony, the 4th edition, I'm not sure what, the name is super long. It's like 1000 XMH4, something, I probably butchered that, but something like that. This is the 4th edition. Wow, it's almost 4 years since I got this pair, but they've done me so well. I used to use them a lot more, especially when in previous years when I had a roommate. I would usually wear these a lot in the room because I wouldn't want to disturb her if I was playing something on like my computer or my phone or something. I would just take these out. But since I have been living in a single this year, thanks to my RA job, haven't been seeing much use out of them, except when I go out, maybe to the library. I'll probably just slip these around my neck and take them with me to have a little background music, some little Animal Crossing. Is anyone else a big fan of Animal Crossing background music for studying? I'm a big fan. There's like this one, if you know, you know, okay? There's this one Spotify playlist. I want to say it's a playlist where it's just hours and hours of Animal Crossing music with rain noise in the background. But that's one of my favorite study playlists. If you haven't heard of it, definitely recommend checking it out. I think there's just something really nice about having relaxing video game music as study music. I don't know any research behind that. Saying that out loud, I want to actually look into that. But that's just what I like if I do listen to music while I study. So, I think that was an overview of everything that I like to carry and lug around in my tote bag all day. I'm sure this is obviously a list that is subject to change, but this is a fairly accurate rendition of what I do carry around campus as a student, and also just, some personal things. Like I love books. I'll always have a book with me. Also, I didn't show it in this video. Actually, I forgot to show it, but I would also carry whatever book that I'm reading for class as well. So I'll usually carry 1 to 2 books in there besides my current read. Let me know. I am curious what other people bring around in their tote bags. Also, I want to ask, are you a tote bag person, or are you a backpack person, or are you something else? What do you like to, what's your kind of carry for the day? And that's kind of it for me for today. I will definitely see you guys soon. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your day or night. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and I'll see you next time. Bye.